Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tech Show with Daryoush. My name is Daryoush, your host. My guests are Robert Blakely, the Blakester, is already joined us, and Kurt Roskopf, that he will join us a little later today. Today, I'm going to talk about what you must do if you got hacked. We talked about the security so many times, what hackers do, how hackers hack a website, how much our data is valuable, and how to know that if you have any valuable information on your website or not, and how valuable is your website itself. But I didn't mention so far that, okay, all the precautions, the website has been hacked. What's next? What shall we do? This depends on which country you are, because in some countries there are laws that they protect website owners. In some countries, the most important thing is that you need to check the law. You read the law or consult with a lawyer and see if there are cybersecurity laws in your country or not. But in any case, as soon as you found out that your systems have been hacked, the very first important thing that you must do is to isolate critical systems immediately. If possible, protect them or disconnect them from the internet. Use highest security protocols that you can. And the next thing that I recommend to do is to report it to your customers, to your clients, and to your business partners, and anyone who uses your network and gets connected to your network. This is important because sometimes hackers not only hack your website or your systems and steal information from you, but also they use your network, your systems, your servers, your computers as a backdoor to attack another website, another computer, another network. Informing your partners, your clients, is helpful to let them know about the vulnerability, about the security breach, and it helps them to protect their data and their information and their business. If law supports cybersecurity threats, consult a lawyer and engage law enforcement. Legally, in so many countries, even if you got hacked, no one takes any action until you open a lawsuit. You complain, go to the police, report about it, and start a complaint. Okay, my network has been hacked. My website has been hacked. My client's information has been stolen. My business has been damaged. When you open a lawsuit, when you submit a complaint, then the law enforcement start. Although many hackers, when they hack a system, delete the logs, but there are always traces, systems, methods to trace them back and find them. You've seen in so many cases that there are hackers distribute a very dangerous malware. They impose damage to so many businesses. And after 48 hours, after 72 hours, they get arrested in Indonesia or in another country. They can be found, hackers can be found, and if you follow the news from time to time, a hacker is arrested. How? These are the best hackers. These are the the very knowledgeable hackers, but they got arrested because there are tools to trace them. But law enforcement does not do anything until you ask for help. So do not hesitate and ask for help from law enforcement. The next thing you must do is to engage and enact your disaster recovery protocol. If you don't have it, prepare it now. You don't know when, if something happens to your systems or not. It is better to be ready and prepared for that moment. And change all the passwords as soon as possible. And force all users of the network to use improved and secure passwords. Some people think, okay, the password must be uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and symbols. Okay, my password is Daryoush, for example, capital D instead of A, I use character @, and for S, I use character 2. And okay, this is secure password. No, it is not. This is not a secure password. You are lying to yourself. There are so many people that use such kind of very simple, basic algorithm. The name of the website, the name of the business, uppercase, lowercase, @ 2020, 2021, or exclamation mark, or instead of the character 1, they use exclamation mark or the L, or these are not the way to create these passwords are not secure. Really secure password must be engaged, must be used in order to protect your information and your business. This is serious. If you don't take the security rules seriously, you must expect hackers steal information and your client's data and destroy your business. I saw in the news that Indian networks got hacked, and about the credit card numbers and passport information of 4.5 million passengers have been stolen by hackers. 4.5 million passengers information, credit card numbers. This is the news that you can see. For the Air India. Take the security seriously. Most of the most vulnerable networks are networks that its users are using insecure passwords. Poor programming, not always the cheapest programming, the cheapest price is economic. If your business is important, if your business is critical, you need to hire professionals, and instead of looking to today's numbers, look at the damage that you can prevent in the very near future. Talking about the business and clients, uh, getting finding a client is not easy. It's very tricky, and you need to have special skills to find a client and keep them. Robert is going to talk to you today about the first impression. Robert, go on. I don't talk anymore.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Well, I just wanted to quickly kind of put in my feedback or 2 cents, if you will, about first impressions. The reason why is because, I see it time and time again on a daily basis, just people that are trying to build their business, but they tend to be doing it the wrong way. And in fact, they make a horrible first impression, right? So it's been said, and I'm sure people have heard this phrase or saying, and it's been said, just simply, you never get a second chance to make a first impression, right? So have a well-known marketer that tried to approach me, and his entire mission was to get me to take a look at a video that he had just done about a book that he had written. And in essence, right, it just completely turned me off, because if you think about it, what did I just said to explain everything to you, right? It was all about him. Here's my book. Here's what you can buy it from me, right? So a lot of people go in with that impression, and I understand why, because you want to make a sale and stuff, but you have you on the brain. In essence, you need to flip that script, because you have to think about what's in it for them, right? So a lot of people will tend to make that bad first impression. And again, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. For me, when I get that kind of impression, that's it. 9 out of 10 times, I will most likely not buy anything from you because of the bad first impression that you made. So to give you a couple of little tips, since we're on the topic, right? I do my best to, first off, you had to learn how to find your target market. So when you know and understand who your target market is, and then you know how to find them, you simply, like, even if you're using Facebook, because that's the biggest place, right? You could go to Facebook, go to a specific group that's going to have your target market in there, find out those people that are actually active, right? And then connect with them. And then normally, when they allow me to be their friend, what I do is I have a graphic with my face on it that says, "Thanks for the ad, you rock." So whenever I reach out in friendship and that person connects with me, if I can, the first thing I do is I go and I put my picture up there and I say, "Thanks for the ad. I look forward to our friendship," right? Because again, I want to make a really good first impression. So I've never had anybody in my entire time of doing this get mad because I put my picture up on their page and said, "Thanks for the ad, and I'm looking forward to the friendship." In fact, I believe that I'm doing something that nobody else really does, right? And that's kind of the key to what I'm getting at. You see everybody doing the same thing doesn't mean that you have to do the same thing as well, right? In fact, it's a lot often times it's better that you do something completely different. Now, understand what I'm saying. Yes, you have to do the things that are going to make sense to get you the results, but you don't have to do things the exact same way that other people do, right? I like to be slightly off. I like to be slightly different than what other people are doing so that I can make that good first impression, right? Another thing that I see a lot of people doing, and it really frustrates me. And I don't know why, but it just does, because I guess whenever I see marketing done incorrectly, it's like nails on a chalkboard. Another thing I would recommend that you guys don't do, though, that I see every day, is inviting people to whatever group that you have without having any form of communication with them. And what I call that is a blind invite. So many people do it on a daily basis. And it was kind of interesting and funny, because this whole topic came up because of another friend of mine that I've known for many years. I give him support. He gives me support on my Facebook page and posts and stuff like that. But he had sent me an invite to one of his groups. And it was only because I know him and I knew what the group was about that I actually added myself to the group. But I went back and I told him, I said, bro, I normally don't accept these types of invites, but because it was you, because of the topic, I went ahead and did it. So I actually taught him something, and he wanted to learn. He said, "What do you mean by the blind invite?" And when I explained it to him, he understood. He said, "Yeah, you're totally right, Robert. Because if and
Robert,
yeah,
hello,
hello,
Robert.
yes.
No, I can't hear you.
Sorry about that. What's the last thing you heard?
Uh, your friend said, yes, Robert, you're right.
Yeah, because he didn't understand. He's not in the marketing realm, but he didn't understand the lashback or the drawback of actually doing that until I had explained it to him. But the point is, right, is if you're doing that kind of thing, you're sending them an invite to something that may not be relevant to them at all, you've killed it at that point. Like you've literally lost respect from that person on whatever it is that you're doing. They're not going to want to take a second look, is kind of what I'm getting at, right? So it's important that if you are in the network marketing space and you're out there trying to make a difference, that you make a positive impact out there, that you're not out there, misrepresenting your company or trying to throw links on to people. It the thing here is, right, is I always call it or relate it to throwing your condoms on the table, right? So if you go out and you're looking for a date, right, you're not going to go up to a woman and throw your condoms on the table and let's say go back to the bedroom, right? It's the same context when you're thinking about your customer, right? If you're throwing your link out there right away and you're not building any kind of rapport with them, you don't even know that they need what the product is that you have, you're literally hurting yourself and only yourself by doing those types of things. So I implore you to do what you can to make a great first impression. I also implore you to reach out to a specific person that you've connected with at least 3 to 5 times before you even consider sharing what it is that you have, right? It's important for you to build that relationship to find out more about that customer to see if they even have a need for your product. If they have a need for your product, it's then a little bit easier for you to sell them on it if you've built the relationship first versus you trying to get the sale, right? A lot of people are out there and they're like just so ingrained in their brain that I got to get the sale, got to get the sale, right? Because if you don't get the sale, no money comes in, you don't eat. But I attest that once I changed my mindset and started looking to find the pain in the marketplace and how I could help people get from their heaven to their hell, immediately things changed in my life. Okay. So I implore you again, if you're listening, do what you can to make a first impression. Don't try to send people invites to your group without asking them. Build that relationship. Have a conversation with the person at least 3 to 5 times before you even consider giving them your link. And don't give them your link unless you feel that they actually need your product. So that's my 2 cents on it, Daryoush. Hopefully the viewers and listeners get something out of that.
Thank you. Actually, uh, I act that way. I don't share my real email address anywhere. And so many times people add my name, my email address to groups, to different places. I don't care because they go to somewhere that I never check.
Yeah, yeah,
And in some cases, when I need to be in business contact with someone, I say, okay, from now on, send your messages about this issue to this specific email address. And from time to time, I just log into that other email address and without reading anything, just select all, delete.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And at the same time, right, it's like, I don't know if it does any good or if anybody actually pays attention. But if I get messages like that that I know that I didn't opt in for, I report them for spam.
Yeah,
I
me
don't know
too.
if it helps. I don't know if it works, but I still like, my perception though, like I mentioned, and because we've known each other for many years, right?
Yeah,
Is just you have to make that first impression, because if you're not, then you're never going to get that second chance. And as I said, this is a top name networker that millions of people look up to. And the message that was delivered to me was a complete turnoff, right? So I'm completely turned off by this guy that calls himself a leader. Granted, he's out there and he's putting information out to the marketplace. He's having people get all excited, and people are going from their hell to their heaven. But at the same time, imagine how much business he's actually losing because of how he's actually doing it. You know what I mean by that?
exactly.
Like
So
if
many
he's a
times.
billionaire, he would be at least, 5 times over what he has right now by changing his introduction and making a better first impression.
Yeah, so many times people call themselves marketing expert, sales expert, and hello, I just received some email. Your email was added to this group. Your email was added to this list. And then they talk to me about email marketing. Does anyone read these emails? These other emails all go to the spam. People, most of the people do use Gmail or Outlook or Yahoo or other free email services as their main email account. And these email, these services automatically move these messages to the spam folder. And automatically, every month they delete the spam folder. I don't need to log into, I use my Gmail for this.
Yeah.
Every 3-4 months, maybe I just log into it in order to keep it active.
Right. Yeah.
Really, does email marketing work?
Yes, it does actually. But there's tricks. That's what I was going to say. There's tricks as well to make sure that your emails actually get in the inbox. A big thing, right, is that there's specific spam triggers, is what we'll call them. And if you have those specific words or spam triggers, then that's why a lot of times your emails will end up in a spam box or what have you. The key
Oh,
thing about having your email content work is you have to find out, like, let's say you have a niche, whatever your niche is, you want to give something of value away. In fact, I posted about this to another friend's page earlier today. It's called give to get is what I always use and call it. So I'm giving them something of value to then get their email, right?
let me ask you
So
another way.
yeah,
You use the best technique that your emails do not go to the spam folder.
for the most part, yes.
And it comes to my inbox.
Yes.
I never asked for such kind of email.
Oh
I
no,
just
no,
delete it.
you won't get any of that from me.
Come from one of these people who call themselves a marketing expert.
Right. Right.
They do everything they can. The email go to the inbox, but I never asked for that.
Yeah.
Who is that guy? Who is
Right.
this person? Okay, I know him, but I never asked him about this.
That might be from what's called an email scraper. So there are bots that will go into certain spots and scrape emails, and then they put those emails into their responder, which is actually against the law. They shouldn't be doing that, you know. that's spam.
Yeah,
So yeah,
in any case, these
I
aren't
always just
spams.
report it.
I too,
Unsubscribe,
if
report.
sometimes I go to them to, these, check my email, my inbox and see some of these, sometimes I delete them and sometimes I report them as a spam, but it was always, I never worked on the email marketing. I never did that and I never do that because I don't believe in that. People do not care to receive something that they don't want.
Well,
Everyone
that's
is busy with his own life. Why do they
yeah,
waste their time with something that they are not interested in?
right. Well, that's in the case of spam, right? But if you're building a legitimate email list and it's for a particular purpose, like let's say, for example, my sales psychology stuff, right? If I have somebody that comes on my list and I nurture that list and they start reading through it, eventually they could become a client of mine, right?
That is different. That is not the
Right,
case that someone is interested to receive such kind of information,
right,
so the newsletter from you.
right, right, exactly.
That is
Exactly.
something different. I'm
Right.
talking about those that spam people.
Yeah, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
Thank you everyone for joining us and thanks for watching. If you have any questions, any idea, any opinion, we would be interested to hear you. Feel free to contact us at questions@harnets.tech. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Love you. Bye bye.
Bye.